Hi there, welcome to Against All Odds on Tregung TV. We give you 6 games and 3 likely goal scorers. It's our preview of all the excitement to look out for in football this weekend. Big thank you and welcome as well to our viewers on Super Screen TV. I'm DG. Titus is right here with me. So let's start off, Titus, in English FA Cup, where Manchester United are up against Spurs. It's the semi-final. United have been good with the over 1.5 lately. We think it should come through once again in that game.
Absolutely, I want to agree with you, especially when it comes to facing the top 6 sides in the Premier League. They have only failed to score, twice. In very, very rare games, and going to this tie since 2011/2012, I think Manchester United have only failed to score twice in 2 of the 17 games FA Cup against a Premier League team. So I think going to the FA Cup, we could be in for a good show of goal scoring for Manchester United. But 1.5, I think, would be a good call.
All right, then, Titus, let's move on to Italy. AC Milan are up against Benevento. We think AC Milan should get the win. They have so much at stake, and partly because Benevento are dead, with all due respect to them.
Well, all due respect, but you have to bear in mind the fact that in the last 6 games they've failed to win 4 Benevento, and having to favour AC Milan go into the fixture this weekend. I don't think it's a bad call from us, so you can always bank on that.
Yeah, much needed game, that one for AC Milan. They
True.
really need to fight for a place
in Europe next season.
And maybe the Champions League.
Maybe.
All right, we'll move on to Spain. Atletico Madrid are up against Real Betis. They are one of the 2 sides without defeat at home in La Liga this season, and we think they cannot lose against Real Betis at home.
In La Liga this season, interestingly, I think they're second placed Atleti in terms of home points ranked in the La Liga, and remember they're also yet to taste a defeat in the La Liga after Barcelona. So I think the call for them this weekend to go all the way wouldn't be a bad call.
All right, then let's move on to Germany. There's Hannover 96 versus champions already, Bayern Munich. We think Bayern Munich won't just win that game, but then we'd also see at least 2 goals in the game.
81 league goals for Bayern Munich. I think it's just astonishing. And then for Hannover, they've been handing over, a point in the last 4 games in the La Liga this season. I think for us to go with the call where we're saying win and over 1.5, I think that's about the most certain for me, I'll say, about calls this weekend.
Yeah, poor away form, or poor away form for
Hannover. They hand over points.
Yeah, they probably take it to the home matches as well. There's Marseille versus Lille in the French Ligue 1. Marseille should win that game, Titus.
For Olympique Marseille in the Ligue 1, I think they're facing a Lille side with an awful record. In the last 5 games, they've managed only 1 draw, losing the remaining 4 games. And then just Monaco, last season's champions and this season's champions already, PSG, are the only sides that have racked more home points, more than Olympique Marseille this season against the Ligue 1. So I think our call again put them in a very safe place to just get that victory against Lille.
All right then, Titus, let's move on to Portugal. It's the first time in a while we've been in Portugal.
True.
We have FC Porto versus Vitória Setúbal. We think Porto, after their league-defining win last weekend, they should consolidate with a win.
True, I want to agree with you, especially with the fact that FC Porto are yet to concede or taste defeat at home this season, and their opponents are quite a weak side
away from home
with the 3rd worst record in terms of goal.
Considered the most goals away from home as well.
So I think for FC Porto, it's just to be an easy ride and just continue their giant strides in Portugal this season.
Yeah, they should. That should be a good one for them. Well, our first goal scorer, Titus, is Lionel Messi. He had very lackluster game against Celta Vigo during the week, but then he's up against Sevilla in the Copa del Rey final. We think Messi, he has a knack for scoring goals in the Copa del Rey, should come alive and get the goal in that final. At least 1 goal for Lionel Messi.
For the lad, the Argentine has 29 league goals this season and still very in the pursuit of the Golden Boot in Europe, and the Pichichi could be in the hatch for him. So I think it's be a safe call. He has a reputation, for Copa del Rey finals.
Exactly.
So definitely you couldn't go wrong if you're sticking your neck out for a Messi goal goal in the Spanish Copa del Rey final.
All right, let's leave that and move on to the Premier League. A player who's been on fire lately for Arsenal.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
We think Aubameyang should bag another for Arsenal this weekend. He's been on a great streak for the Arsenal.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, since coming to the Premier League, has not failed to deliver to a large extent, having 4 goals in his last 3 games. And I think that's massive for the Gabonese. And this weekend, tipping him to be a goal scorer, I think it's a good way to go for us this weekend.
Our final goal scorer tonight is Edison Cavani. He's up against Bordeaux for PSG, but now champions, of course, of Ligue 1. But then he's still in the hunt for the top scorer award. We think he should bag another this weekend.
I think another one who'll be looking forward to score for his side. I'm talking about Cavani. I did call him Edison Cavani. So I think for me, I think he should go out there and get a goal. So he needs to keep his interest up for the Golden Boot. So Cavani will be yearning and be hungry for goals this weekend.
All right then, so those are called 6 games and 3 likely goal scorers. As we always tell you, nothing is cast in stone, but based on certain probabilities and statistics, we think these calls should come through. Call your friends to subscribe to Tregung TV and share in the phone, because you can't do this alone. And of course, don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles as well. Have a good weekend.